Welcome one, welcome all to another edition of TGPW, the Gorilla Position Wrestling, the most unprofessional professional wrestling in Fire Pro Wrestling. I, of course, am your host, the Swink Nick Swinky, and we are coming at you with part 3 of TGPW Presents T3, That Trios Tournament 2021, a Trios tournament to determine the first ever, the inaugural TGPW Trios Champions. And I hope you have watched both Part 1 and Part 2 of the T3. If you have not, you can catch up. There will be a playlist containing all 3 parts of the T3, or at least Parts 1 and 2 of the T3 in the playlist. And if you've missed any of the TGPW shows, there is also a handy-dandy playlist there for TGPW. And if you have not yet, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And make sure you activate notifications by hitting the bell icon so you get notified when the next episode of TGPW drops on the YouTube channel. And if you could, please like this video. And if you could comment, that would be great too. So now that we've got all of those things out of the way, coming at you, we've got the semifinals of the T3, both semifinal matchups here, and of course the finals of the tournament as well. In addition to those 3 matches, we have 4 non-tournament matches as well, including a death match. Right here, we've got the first of 2 semifinal matchups in the T3. It is Bullet Club, Tanga, Tama, Tonga, and Hikuleo taking on the T3 2020 winners, the Stronghearts, CIMA, Lindaman, and Shigehiro, Irie. In the opening round of the tournament, the Stronghearts defeated the Elite, Kenny Omega, and the Young Bucks. And in the quarterfinals, they would defeat the Flair family of Charlotte Flair, David Flair, and Reed Flair to get here to the semifinals. And now they are 1 match away from making it to the finals again and have a chance to repeat as T3 champions, but also walk out as the TGPW Trios Champions. That the match could have been over right there. Bullet Club, meanwhile, got here by beating the Thunder Buddies in the opening round. Jushin Thunder Liger. Wait a minute. That's it! Just like that, a critical on Tanga Loa, and Lindaman gets the win via knockout for the Stronghearts, and they are moving on to the finals. All right, match number 2 here at part 3 of T3. It is our second semifinal matchup. It is the Circus of Slime, Gran, Blanco, Presentadora, Crooked Tortuga, Michael Brennan, and Pagano taking on the Gunn Club of Billy Gunn, Austin Gunn, and Colten Gunn. And I didn't even get a chance to break down how Bullet Club got to the semifinals. I'll do that right now. Bullet Club defeated the Thunder Buddies, Jushin Thunder Liger, Thunder Horse, and Thunder Rosa in the opener. In the opening round. In the quarterfinal round, Bullet Club would then defeat the Detroit Wrestling Connection. And we just saw them lose in very short order to Stronghearts when Lindaman knocked out Tanga Loa. Circus of Slime got here by defeating the Best Friends in the opener, and Queen's Quest in the quarterfinals. That was not without some controversy, though. The Circus of Slime would win that match via disqualification. Pagano, meanwhile, is using that fork to effectiveness as he has busted open both both Austin Gunn and Billy Gunn with that fork. But Circus of Slime cheating their way to the semifinals is no surprise. That is their MO. The Gunn Club, meanwhile, continuing their unbeaten streak. They defeated the Second Gear crew handily, I might add, in the opening round, and then won a war of attrition over the alliance to end Steve, one of the longest matches in TGPW history. A back and forth matchup that could have went either way, but in the end, it was the Gunn Club outlasting the alliance to end Steve, and that is how they got here to the semifinals. But right now, they are at a distinct disadvantage as both Billy Gunn, the patriarch of the family, his son, the son of a gun, Austin Gunn, have been busted open by Pagano with that fork. Colten Gunn in there now, the oldest of the Gunn brothers. The only one yet to be busted open by Pagano with that fork. Swinging neckbreaker by Colten on Pagano. There's the Colt 45. That could be it. That's how they got to the, I believe it was to the, that's how they advanced to the semifinals, I think, after the Colt 45. Maybe that was the first round they won with the Colt 45. Either way, finishing maneuver by Colten Gunn. They saw it coming, however, as the Circus of Slime was able to break it up. You saw Billy Gunn get involved, though. And now Colten tags in his father, Billy. Double suplex on Pagano as Gran Blanco's in there now. Now he's trying to get Billy Gunn disqualified, but Billy Gunn is having none of that. Bulldog by El Jefe. What's he doing here? Nope. Into the quick draw. Rake to the eyes of Billy Gunn. Again with the quick draw. I looked that up. I guess that's the name of the move, quick draw. Oklahoma Stampede right there by the Texan Billy Gunn. Look at this, the Mexican stretch. He's got it locked in, and I think that's it. The Circus of Slime win the matchup as referee 2-count Lou Tefano called for the bell. Match 3 of part 3 of the T3 2021 is a non-tournament matchup. It is a singles match. It is a grudge match, as it is the TGPW Deathmatch champion, Arrow Boy, not defending the title in this matchup, taking on the 1990s Keiji Muto, member of the Mutoverse. And if you've been following along with TGPW, you know there has been a war between Keiji Muto, who is the current reigning TGPW champion, who we'll see later on in the show, and his challengers, Arrow Boy, who challenged for the title last month at Super Summer Sizzler Spectacular and was unsuccessful. Go Shiozaki, who we saw challenge for the title back at My Own Summer in June, also unsuccessful. Myron Reed, who wants to get a title shot. And the Big Show tag team partner, Go Shiozaki, who we will see later on. They've been gunning for the TGPW Championship, and the TGPW champion, Keiji Muto, has the key to the forbidden door to the multiverse, as he has been able to bring in multiple versions, variants if you will, of himself, including this version of Keiji Muto from the 1990s, clad in the red trunks. Hurricane Rana into a pin, gets a 1 count. Other versions of Muto include the Great Muta, his alter ego, and Bad Blood, a variant of a variant, if you will, another version of the Great Muta from the multiverse. Cutter off the top by Arrow Boy, and then a super kick follows it up. And then an Insiguri. A flurry of offense here from Arrow Boy has Keiji Muto stunned. but we have seen them battle in various tag team matches and singles matchups. As the forces of the Muto-verse and Go Shiozaki's, well, army, I guess you would call it. As the champion has surrounded himself with versions of himself, Michinoku driver hooks the leg and gets a 2 count in order to try and keep that TGPW championship. Dragon screw leg whip into the figure 4 leg lock. Referee 2 count Lou asking, but no. Cradle pile driver by Muto. He says that's it. He's going up top. Goes for the rounding body press. Hooks the leg 2 and no! Big 2.9 kick out there by Arrow Boy. Arrow Boy in trouble now. Gets caught with a dragon screw. Center of the ring. Perfectly placed. Nowhere for Arrow Boy to go, and that's it. Keiji Muto may have injured the leg of Arrow Boy in the process, but Keiji Muto, the 1990s version, gets the job done. Here we go with match number 4 in part 3 of the TGPW T3, that Trios Tournament 2021. It is another non-tournament matchup. This time, it is another Grudge match, a Grudge tag team match. Talked about it in the previous matchup, the battle between the Muto-verse and Go Shiozaki and his army, if you will. And look at that. Busted wide open is Go Shiozaki already. And this is another in a series of Grudge matches tonight between these two factions. We've already seen the 1990s Keiji Muto with the submission victory over Arrow Boy. Now we've got this tag team matchup pitting the Great Muta and Bad Blood, two more variants of Keiji Muto, against Ko Shiozaki, a man looking to become #1 contender and TGPW champion, and another man who wants to be #1 contender and TGPW champion as well. Of course, I'm talking about Hot Fire Myron Reed. The young goat of Injustice. And we've got some fight, a big brawl going on here on the floor. Bad Blood makes a tag, as does Myron Reed. I believe it is, yes, it is Great Muta in the white, Bad Blood in the red, and I believe it is Bad Blood and, I believe it is Great Muta and Shiozaki who are the legal man. As soon as I say that, Go tags out to Myron Reed as they double suplex Great Muta out of the ring to the floor. And now a big vertical suplex by Shiozaki on the floor and then chops him right across the chest. Shiozaki sends him into the apron but grabs a chair, does Muto, drop toe hold. Great Muta with the Muta lock applied on the outside of the ring. And now Bad Blood and Myron Reed going at it inside the ring. Gowan lariat turns Muta inside out on the floor as Myron Reed hits a pump kick on Bad Blood. Series of kicks by Myron Reed, goes for a cover, gets one, but Bad Blood is there to break it up, drops the knee. Shiozaki in there now. Jawbreaker by Bad Blood, super kick on the jaw of Great Muta, stuns him. I think Shiozaki was loading up on a lariat there, but just runs right into Great Muta. Bad Blood drops an elbow from the top. And you know how the lyrics go. Now we got problems, and I don't think we can solve them. You made a really deep cut, and baby, now we got bad blood. Wonder if Kiji Muto is a big fan of T-Swift. Powerbomb on the floor on Bad Blood. As the team of Go Fire on fire. Iron Reed getting the crowd into this one. As we've got an absolute brawl on the floor here with all four men on the outside of the ring. Go Flasher on the floor on Great Muta. Nice spin kick by Bad Blood. Catches Myron. Goes for the elbow drop, but nobody home. Myron with the swanton. The crowd is fired up. Great Muta and Bad Blood double team kick on the bloody Go Shiozaki, who's now chopping away at the Great Muta. German suplex folds him like an accordion. The young goat tagged back in now. Those stinging knife edge chops for Go Shiozaki, some of the hardest chops in the business. Both men spent. They've been going at it hard and heavy. There's a Shining Wizard. Hooks the leg. Is that going to be it? No! Big time kick out from Myron Reed. As Bad Blood cut off Shiozaki from making the save there. But Myron Reed showing his tenacity. Able to kick out at 2. Standing shooting star gets a 2 count. As Muto kicks out, there's the Captain Crunch on Muto. Muto with a shot to the throat. Everybody in there now. Iron Reed with the no cap splash. Series of elbows loading up for that lariat, and there it is. Turns him inside out. That could be it. 2 and no. Muto there to save the matchup for his team. And another lariat turns Bad Blood inside out. That could be it. 2 and no. Muto at the last second there to save the matchup for his team again. You can tell they've been given a directive by Kiji Muto, the boss, if you will, the TGPW champion. Do not embarrass him tonight. Reverse neck breaker to the top. Moonsault off the top from Muto. Is that it? And he got him. Myron Reed could not get there in time to break it up as the Great Muta pins Go Shiozaki here in this tag team match. Here we go with match number 5 of part 3 of the T3. It's another non-tournament matchup. It's the final of our 3 grudge matches between the forces of Go Shiozaki, Arrow Boy, Myron Reed, and Big Show against the TGPW Kiji Muto and the Mutoverse. Great Muta, Bad Blood, and 1990s Kiji Muto. And so far, it's been all Mutoverse as 90s Kiji Muto defeated Arrow Boy via submission. And then in our last match, Great Muta and Bad Blood picked up the win over Go Fire, the team of Go Shiozaki and Myron Reed. But here we have the TGPW champion Kiji Muto in a non-title matchup against Big Show. Now these two met before in a series of matches. Of course, one half of the tag team Go Big Show is the Big Show alongside Go Shiozaki. And Kiji Muto got the submission victory over Big Show with a figure 4 leg lock in an 8-man tag. also got the pin on Big Show following a moonsault in another tag team matchup. There's that moonsault. He beat him with it before. It only gets a 1 count. So Big Show very angry about being defeated both times, taking the fall, if you will, the pinfall and the submission, and being forced to submit. So Keiji Muto targeting the big man, but the Big Show requesting this matchup with Muto. There's a power drive elbow by Muto. Muto drop kicks the knee of the big man. Smart strategy there, trying to take out the limbs of the bigger man. There's the rounding body press again. Is that it? 2 and no. Big Show again powers out. And then the Fujiwara armbar by Muto, switching up the strategy a little bit. Usually goes after the legs to set up that figure 4 leg lock, which we, like I said, we've already seen him beat Big Show with that move. Look at this gorilla press slam by the Big Show, showing off his power, his size advantage, and his strength advantage in this matchup. Pendulum backbreaker by Muto. But a clubbing blow by the Big Show, and here comes the Great Muta. The Great Muta out here now. Now it's a 2-on-1 situation. Double drop kick by the Mutos, if you will. The Great Muta with the rounding body press off the top. Shining Wizard by the Great Muta. Or sorry, by Keiji Muto, rather. The Great Muta with the cradle pile driver. And Big Show trying to fight off both of these men in a 2-on-1 situation here. And finally, the Great Muta leaving the ring. And again with a Browning body press, this time to the back. And a second one. And a Dragon Screw leg whip now. Muto dragging him out, looking for the figure 4. There it is. Is that it? And that's it. A clean sweep by the Mutoverse tonight, as he gets yet another submission win over the Big Show with the figure 4 leg lock. Mutoverse dominant. Here we go with our semi-final matchup of the evening, match number 6 at the TGPW T3, that Trios Tournament 2021, part 3 of 3. This is a barbed wire landmine light tube death match between Trish Stratus and Penelope Ford. As you can see, the fluorescent light tubes in the corners, all 4 corners of the ring. We've got barbed wire boards outside the ring with landmines rigged to each of the barbed wire boards. Weapons are also strewn across the ring. But how we got here, simply this, going all the way back to March at Tag Team Madness. We saw Trish Stratus team with Marty Drip Trip to take on the super bad girl Penelope Ford and battle JR, Jim Ross. JR and Penelope were victorious in that matchup. We've seen these two meet again in a 6-man tag, in which Trish Stratus teamed with Death by Snoo Snoo, the team of Camille Brickhouse and Jade Cargill. They were victorious over Penelope Ford and Kira Hogan and Tasha Steelz. And we've seen faction warfare between JR's group and Marty Drip Drip's group. And now it's bleeding, if you will, over into this show, where we've got the 2 women, Penelope Ford and Trish Stratus, going at it here in a barbed wire landmine light tube death match. And Trish Stratus is the first to taste the fluorescent bulbs as Penelope applies that camel clutch. Northern Light suplex with a bridge. And a 1 count only as Penelope kicks out. Wheelbarrow into the Bulldog by Trish. Trish goes behind, but a counter by Penelope into a cutter. Nicely done by the super bad girl. Snap suplex. But a drop kick to the knee by Trish takes her down. Goes for a cover, hooks a leg, gets 2, and no. So far, no one's been sent to the outside. Backslide into a pin, gets 2, and no. Oh, and Penelope goes into the light bulbs. And I blink, yes indeed, Penelope Ford has been busted open after that shot into the light bulbs. Cover, 2, and no. Big kick out by Penelope. Penelope sent for a ride. Trish evasion, but Penelope with a back elbow. Now she's got a light tube and smashes it into Trish, and now it's got the a Boston Crab. Northern Lights with a bridge by Trish, gets 2, and no! Big kick out by Penelope, 2.9. They're getting closer to the ropes there. So far, no one's been sent to the outside into those landmines. I have a feeling that might change very soon. Big kick by Penelope. Penelope stunned, and a snap suplex by Trish. And a cutter by Penelope, but Trish back to her feet. And you can see the blood loss might be getting to Penelope here as she is breathing heavy. And that kick may have done the trick. Is that it? No! 2.9. Penelope out. Counters a Bulldog attempt into a back suplex. Does Penelope. An elbow from Penelope. Sends Trish off the ropes, but they run into each other. As Penelope again goes into the glass. Penelope may not have much left here. You can see breathing heavy. And there's the chick kick, and that could be it. 2, only a 2. Another chick kick, and I think that's it. And it is. Trish Stratus gets the win in a measure of revenge over Penelope. Not only that, she's punched her ticket to that Deathmatch Show 3. And here we go with our main event of the evening, and it has all come down to this. It is the finals of the T3 That Trios Tournament 2021. Not only will the winners be the T3 2021 champions, but they will also win the TGPW Trios Championship. That's right, the winners of the tournament will be the first ever, the inaugural TGPW Trios Champions. Will it be the T3 2020 winners, the Stronghearts, or will it be the Circus of Slime? Stronghearts winning last year's tournament, looking to make it a repeat back-to-back, 2 in a row. Not only that, but winning the Trios Championship. And they have been very impressive throughout this tournament, knocking off the Elite in the first round, the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. In the quarterfinals, they would defeat the Flair family of Charlotte, Reed, and David Flair. Then, in the semifinals, they would knock off the Bullet Club team of Tanga, Tama, and Hikuleo. The count out is on. Got to get back in the ring. And he does. Avoiding the count out there. That could have been disastrous. 20 count on the floor, by the way, in TGPW. Hits out, does Shigehiro Irie, but it's broken up by Circus of Slime. Circus of Slime cheating their way to get here. They beat the best friends in the first round with an assist from a steel chair. Another steel chair assist allows them to beat Queen's Quest in the quarterfinals. As Utami Hayashishida got disqualified thanks to Gran Blanco, who brought the chair into the ring, by the way. Circus of Slime then defeating the Gunn Club in the semifinals. Of course, Pagano using his fork in that match thoroughly throughout to bust open both Billy Gunn and Austin Gunn. Frog splash off the top by CIMA. And Michael Brennan and Gran Blanco there to break it up. Electric chair drop by Pagano, who drops the leg on CIMA. Nice arm drag by CIMA into that senton, flipping senton. As El Jefe Gran Blanco, El Gran Blanco Presentadora is tagged in. The boss of the Circus of Slime, if you will, the ringleader. And there with the leader of Stronghearts, CIMA. Series of elbow strikes by Shigehiro as he sends him into the corner turnbuckle. European uppercut by Gran Blanco, and now he tells the fans to stick it. Frankensteiner by Gran Blanco gets a 2 count. And here's the thing about the Circus of Slime. They have the skills to win matches without cheating. We see they'd rather take the cheap and easy route to win their matches. And that's what disgusts me about the Circus of Slime. Repeated stomps in the tree of woe to Shigehiro's midsection by Crooked Tortuga Michael Brennan. We call him that because he was a referee in TGPW before he found out he was on the take. A 2 count Lou Tefano, he had been suspended already for his actions. A lot of troubles with referees here at TGPW if you haven't noticed. Formerly the Amazing Turtle, now simply known as Michael Brennan. Once a fan favorite, now one of the most hated members of the roster. Roll up and a 2.9 is Al Lindaman just out the back door. Al Lindaman with a Samoan driver. Is that it? No. Pagano, I believe, there to break it up, save the matchup for his team. And you could say that he's been instrumental in the success of the Circus of Slime in this tournament. And now he's biting him. And Al Lindaman's busted open. CIMA misses the drop kick. Series of uppercuts from Gran Blanco. Again mocks the fans. Al Lindaman there to break up the pin. Gran Blanco just simply sat on the chest of CIMA using his weight advantage to pin the man down to the canvas. Plants him into the canvas. Does CIMA, did he get him? No. Pagano there again to break it up and save the match for his team. CIMA dragging him all the way back towards his corner as Shigehiro Irie is tagged in. The beast Shigehiro and Tortuga going at it now. Drop kick, but a huge elbow smash from Shigehiro. Deadlifts him into a choke. Is that it? 2 count Lou asking. And that's it. Circus of Slime can't get there in time. Stronghearts get the submission win. They win the tournament. They win the titles. Back-to-back T3 winners is Stronghearts. And there you have it, folks. The finals of the tournament. Stronghearts proving yet again they are the best trio in TGPW. They won last year's T3 2020. They win again the T3 2021. And not only that, they are the first ever TGPW Trios Champions, as they defeated El Gran, Blanco, Presentadora, Crooked Tortuga, Michael Brennan, and Pagano, the Circus of Slime, to win the tournament and the titles. Shigehiro with that grounded Taz mission on Michael Brennan. Nowhere for him to go. He was locked in tight. Lindaman and CIMA were able to cut off Blanco and Pagano from breaking it up. And Brennan having no choice but to either pass out or tap out. And 2 count Lou Tefano calls for the bell as CIMA, Lindaman, and Shigehiro won the matchup and the titles. And there you see it. Congratulations to Stronghearts on winning the tournament and the titles. New champions crowned. And what a tournament it was, folks. What a 3-part extravaganza you just witnessed. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you watched all 3 parts. And Stronghearts running the table. Last year's winners, now this year's winners. Back-to-back winners. The repeat. Could they go for a 3-peat next year? Are we witnessing the start of a dynasty here? Like the Chicago Bulls of the 1990s. Are Stronghearts the Chicago Bulls of the 1990s? That's the question. But what we do know is that they are the TGPW Trios Champions now. So now they will have to defend those titles in TGPW, which means we're going to be seeing a lot more Stronghearts, not just in next year's tournament, because they will be back in the T3 2022 to defend their crown as T3 champions back-to-back years. But we're going to be seeing them a whole lot more in TGPW, as they are now the Trios champions, and we have got a lot of trios in TGPW that we could see them up against. And they certainly earned this victory. They certainly earned the tournament win. To review, in the opening round of the tournament, Stronghearts defeating the elite Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. Then defeating the Flairs, Charlotte Flair, Reed Flair, David Flair in the quarterfinals. In the semifinals, they got a dominant win over the Bullet Club, knocking out Tanga. A match also including his brothers Tama, Tonga, and Hikuleo. And then the submission win in the finals over the Circus of Slime. Circus of Slime cheating their way to get to the finals, but could not cheat their way to winning the tournament or the titles here. Shigehiro with the submission victory, forcing Michael Brennan to tap out And after tonight's dominance by the Mutoverse, I mean, we could possibly see any combination of the Mutoverse, whether it be Bad Blood, Great Muta, and 90s Muto, or the champion, TGPW champion Kiji Muto, and one of the other members, whether it be Great Muta and Bad Blood, or Great Muta and 90s Muto, or, you know, the champion Muto and Bad Blood and Great Muta, or any of those combinations. We saw Great Muta interfere in TGPW champion Kiji Muto's matchup against Big Show. And they were dominant tonight, as 90s Kiji Muto defeated Arrow Boy via submission. Great Muta and Bad Blood defeating the team of Go Fire, Go Shiozaki, and Mayan Reed in a tag match. And then, like I said, in the non-title grudge match, TGPW champion Kiji Muto, with the assist from the Great Muta, defeats Big Show again via submission with the figure 4 leg lock. Same move he beat him with last time. Beat him again here with the figure 4. No one's been able to figure out how to beat the champion, whether it be in non-title matches or tag team matches, or matches for the title. Kiji Muto is seemingly unstoppable. And tonight, he's proven why he is the top dog in TGPW. Also earlier, Trish Stratus defeated Penelope Ford in a barbed wire landmine light tube death match. And I mentioned it earlier. The victory by Trish Stratus has now earned her a spot in the That Deathmatch Show 3 tournament. A 16-person deathmatch tournament, which is coming up in October. If you followed the channel previously, you know about That Deathmatch Show. That Deathmatch Show 1 and That Deathmatch Show 2. Both available on the channel. If you haven't seen them yet, they are available. I am going to create a playlist that will include both versions, both That Deathmatch Show 1 and That Deathmatch Show 2. Easy for me to say. But That Deathmatch Show 3 is coming up here in October. Again, I'm getting a little tongue-tied here, and I apologize. But Trish Stratus will be joining the list of TDS3 participants following her victory over Penelope Ford. I can also tell you that the TDS1 winner, Sabu, former TGPW Deathmatch champion, will be in the tournament. The runner-up to the TDS1, Jun Kasai, also in the tournament. The TDS2 runner-up, Abdul the Butcher, also in the tournament. And former TGPW Deathmatch champion, Atsushi Onita, also in the tournament. Of course, the TDS2 winner was Arrow Boy, who is the current reigning TGPW Deathmatch champion. He will not be in the tournament, but he will face the winner of the 16-person Deathmatch tournament, as the winner of the tournament will get an immediate TGPW Deathmatch Championship matchup against the champion Arrow Boy. So a 16-person tournament, and the winner gets a title shot against Arrow Boy. As I mentioned, Sabu was the winner of the first tournament, and the winner of the first tournament became the inaugural champion as he defeated Jun Kasai in the finals to win the title. Sabu would lose the title in a non-tournament match where he defended the title against Atsushi Onita. Onita would then defend the title against the winner of TDS2, which was Arrow Boy. Arrow Boy would defeat Onita, and that is where we stand. As I mentioned, Sabu, Onita, Kasai, and Abdullah the Butcher, who's the runner-up, which Arrow Boy defeated in TDS2, will all be in the tournament. And Trish Stratus also added to the tournament. 16 competitors in all. That begins in October. And if you want to know when the next episode goes up, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and that you hit the bell icon. Make sure that is checked so that you get notifications when the first part of the TDS3 goes up, because you do not want to miss it, folks. And with all of that being said, that's going to wrap things up here for this show for part 3 of TGPW's T3, that Trios Tournament 2021. Again, Stronghearts are your winners of the T3 2021, back-to-back winners and back-to-back years, the T3 2020 and 2021 winners, and they are the first ever inaugural TGPW Trios Champions. Thank you so much for watching. I am the Swink, and stay safe out there. We'll see you guys next time.